Morning everybody, welcome to day 3 of maths for this week. So yesterday we were counting in 2s, today we're counting in 5s. So we're going to count forwards and backwards. And then we're going to be trying to solve problems, looking at groups of 5, how many groups we've got, how many each group, and we're going to think about recording it as an addition number sentence, ready for next week, really. So although you won't do it in the activity today, it's nice to be able to know it. But before we move on, we are going to have a look at yesterday's learning. So here I have 3 questions for you. Okay, so when I finish talking, pause it, have a go to find the answers. So get yourself a scrap piece of paper. You don't need to do this in your book. So the first question, just can you put in the next 2 numbers of our sequence? 2, 4, 6. And what are the next 2 numbers? Here we've got 18 something, 14 something, something. Can you put in those 3 numbers? And then a question. If I counted in 2s from 34, would I say 55? Yes or no? And if you can tell me why, the answer is yes or no, extra bonus points to you. So pause now. Okay, you've all had a go, or you're cheating. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then we have 18. This one goes backwards, look, because 18 and 14, the numbers are getting smaller. So it's 18, 16, 14, 12, 10. Okay. The third question, if I counted in 2s from 34, would I say 55? The answer is no. And the reason is because of this number here. A 5 is an odd number, and when we're counting in 2s, we do not say odd numbers, or any number for that matter, ending in 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. And you will have noticed this yesterday from your counting in 2s activity. Those, whether you're year 1 or year 2, those numbers wouldn't have come up yesterday when you were counting in 2s. Okay, so let's get on to counting in 5s. First of all, though, I haven't got a funny video to show you today, I'm afraid. Not with biscuits. I don't have groups of 5 biscuits anymore. They've all been eaten. So I'm going to show you using 100 square, and I want to do something a little bit different because yes, when we did the video counting in 2s, we went forwards, but we didn't go backwards. Okay, and we didn't look at patterns. We just counted. So today I'm going to bring up, if I can, there we go. Here is 100 square. Okay, so I'm going to put it onto splat mode, and I'm feeling in a blue mood today. So we're going to put blue. So we're going to count in 5s from 0. Now 0 would be here. So we're going to go 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Okay? Now, looking at those numbers, looking at the 100 square, what do you notice? Is there a pattern? Okay? Yes, there is a pattern. The only numbers that we've splatted are numbers that end in a 5, and they go all the way down here, or a 0, all the way down here. Okay? So when you're counting in 5s from 0, the number has to end in a 5 or a 0. If it doesn't, you've made a mistake. Okay? Now, let's have a go at counting backwards, and then we'll move on to the next little activity. 100, 95, 90, 85, 80, 75, 70, 65, 60, 55, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, 0. Always remember to put the 0 in as well. Okay, right, that's it for the interactive 100 squares. Let's get rid of that and go back to our work. And here we have some groups. So this is just like yesterday's counting in twos. Okay, so first of all, we need to know how many groups there are. Well, that is the pencil pots. So we've got 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups. So I can put my 4 in here. How many pencils are in each group? Well, what are we counting in today? Okay, there are 5 pencils in each group, which means I can say that is 4 groups of 5 pencils. Okay, can you have a go at home on your your scrap piece of paper at writing the number sentence down here? Have a go. Go on, write it now, please. Okay, what we've got is we've got this pot, add this pot, add this pot, add this pot. So it's 5, add 5, add 5, add 5. And the easiest way to know how you've done enough 5s is to put them actually above the things you're counting. So I know I've got 4 there. I've got 4 here, and I could just do my number sentence up here. 5, add 5, add 5, add 5 equals. Now this is where we count in 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20. So 20 is our answer. Okay? The reason we're doing all of this, although it may seem like it's a really long-winded way of doing things, it will all become obvious next week. Okay? Right, let's move on to another problem. Right, this one's a little bit different. Okay? First of all, it says, are these groups equal? So how are we going to work that out first of all? We're going to have to count them. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this group, and I'm going to put it up here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 in this group, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this group. Are they equal then? Well, no, because this one has 4. The second question then says, what do we need to do to make these group equal? So if we want to make them all equal, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to add another star to there. And that means that one is no longer 4, it is 5. Okay? Now we've got our number sentence, look. 5, add 5, add 5 equals, so when we're looking at all together, that means the total number of stars, let's count in 5s, 5, 10, 15. 15 is our answer. We could say that is 3 groups of 5 equals 15 as well. Let's move on to the next one. If at any point you think this is really confusing, just watch the video again. It's okay to rewind and watch. Okay, we're back to this one again now. So here we've got some hands. Now, unless you're a bit odd, you've got 4 fingers and a thumb, so 5 digits on one hand. How many groups? How many hands are there? So we'll do the same again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are 9 hands. Each hand has how many fingers? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fingers. So how many fingers are there in total? Record as a number sentence. So just like before, 5, add 5, add 5, that's a horrible add sign, add 5, add 5, oh, I'm going too far now, 1, 2, 3, add 5, I should be doing this above the hand, then I wouldn't be making mistakes. See, even teachers make mistakes, guys. and I'm a parent and a teacher, so I make lots of mistakes. So now we've got our number sentence, which is what it's asked us to do down here. We can count in fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. And if at any point you think, oh, this is a little bit tricky, you were all given 100 square, those who are at home. So grab that 100 square and use it to count. Because remember, when we count in fives, you're only saying the numbers that are a 5, that have a 5 at the end, or a 0 at the end. If your answer doesn't end in 5 or 0, you've made a mistake and you're going to need to go back and check it. So how many in total? We've got 45. Okay, that leaves us with today's activity. Okay, so if you are in year 1, you will notice that you have these 2 sheets stuck in your book. Okay, the first sheet, the numbers are down here. We want you, or I want you, to put them in the right place. Okay, now it's not all one box. Here we've got something, something, 45, something, something. So that's one question. Just that bit there. Then we've got another one, which is, so that'd be question 1 almost. Something, 15, something, something, something. And that is the next question. Question number 2. Question number 3 is the bottom track. Something, 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 95, something. Okay, all the numbers are down here. So when you've put a number in, cross it off down here, and then you know it's not going to be used again in any of the other ones. So once you've done that, and you've crossed out all the numbers, you've got your challenge question. Martin says, if I start at 15 and count in fives, I will say the number 90. Is he correct? Yes or no? That's nice and simple. Explain. So I know I'm correct because. So how do you know you are going to say the number 90 if you count in fives? Think about what we've talked about in this video. Okay? And if you're really, really stuck, check on your 100 square, but talk to a parent, talk to mum and dad. When you've had a go at that, there are 2 problems. Okay, Amir is making this flower pattern with counters. Annie says, if you make 9 flowers, you will use 43 counters. Do you agree with Annie? Explain your answer. So in other words, if you've got 9 groups, would you have 45? What I would do is I would draw those 9 groups in your book next to the problem or underneath the problem, and then count how many you've got altogether. And then that will give you that will tell you whether Annie's correct or not correct. Okay, and if she is correct, you've shown how. If she isn't correct, what mistake has she made? Okay, so that's quite a long problem. That might take you a little bit of time. It might even take you longer than the whole of this sheet put together. And then the odd one out. Which of these 4 numbers is the odd one out? Explain how you know. I'm not going to give you any more hints than that. Right, year 1s, you can stop the video and have a go at these 2 questions, or 3 questions. Year 2s, let me explain your activity. So you have the same problems in your book, but I want you to start with to complete the number tracks. Okay, so you haven't got numbers to choose from. You've just got 5, 10, 15. Can you do the next 4 numbers? 15, 20, 25, the next 3 numbers, and so on. Keep going all the way. Some of them go backwards, some of them go forwards. You need to look at that carefully, but use your 100 square to help you. Then you've got number tracks. Can you fill in the missing numbers? So this isn't just continuing a sequence. This is you've actually got to go forwards and backwards. There's one. There's one. So these are 4 separate questions. And then some of these numbers are not multiples of 5. Can you circle them? So these are going to be numbers that you will not say when you count in 5. That's what a multiple means. It means it's not going to appear in the 5 times table. We haven't talked about times tables yet. So I want you just to think of numbers that you're not going to say when you count in 5s, and circle them. Okay? Then have a go at the problems as well. And then I'll see you back tomorrow, ready for counting in tens, which to be fair is quite easy.